I'm Mark Rowe.
I'm Ramon.
Alright, and today we're going to be going over week 2 of the NFL. And some injuries and all that.
Yeah, a lot of injuries for sure.
Alright.
We need to start at the Commanders-Packers game. So, basically, everyone's talking about the Jaden Daniels injury, and while that's big, I don't think it'll affect them too much because he could potentially play against the Raiders, and if not, Marcus Mariota is enough to beat the Raiders, in my personal opinion. But what's more important about this game is the fact that we can see that the Packers are literally Super Bowl contenders. The way they won this game, it was so easy for them. Like, wide receivers, their quote-unquote weakness, but it didn't seem like a weakness.
Yeah.
In my opinion, from how I saw it.
So from what I saw is that the Packers are basically, like, this is a perfectly healthy Commanders team when they played them. Now the Commanders, honestly, I think the Falcons have a chance to beat them in 2 weeks. I know we're not going over this like that, but like basically the Commanders, all they have right now is the running game, or not the running game, the passing game, and Jaden Daniels went down. So I mean, Austin Eckler tore his ACL as well, so I don't know how they're gonna run the ball.
No, but I think Ja'Cory Cross-Camara is good. I think they'll give him more snaps, and you'll see how good he really is. To be honest,
I gotta pick him up on fantasy. Alright, so Zach Ertz is carrying this team, even though he's like 50 years old. I'm not gonna lie. Terry McLaurin's not bad, but he needs to get more production. And yeah.
Debo's about where you would think he's gonna be, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he's not gonna be the best player, but he's also not gonna be the worst. I mean,
yeah, which is why you just need him there, because last year it was basically just McLaurin. You know what I'm saying?
They could put Debo at running back. I mean, he has kind of like played there before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
could also put Luke McCaffrey back there.
Yeah. Jordan Love, MVP contender right now, I think.
I mean, he's not even throwing interceptions, and that's kind of like the big thing, because it's always like Love was basically Josh Allen if you toned him down by like 20%. But now he's like actually playing like Allen is right now. They both not throwing interceptions.
Matthew Golden, I think, looks to be like pretty solid. I mean, he didn't have any catches, but I mean,
I don't really see what the hype is. I mean, he kind of like, he's supposed to be fast, and my definition of fast isn't like Xavier Worthy. It's like if you can get to wherever your quarterback is throwing his long ball, and he couldn't get there like twice, and it was pretty bad because they could have gotten 2 touchdowns on those plays. They'd have won like what, 40 something to 18, so pretty bad.
I think the Packers have the second best defense, third best defense in the league. It's definitely really good, but like I do think there are a couple of defenses that are a little bit better.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's go on to the Giants Cowboys. I watched this game. This was awesome.
Yeah, same. I watched this game. This was a great game. Like nothing notable about either team, to be honest, other than the fact that this was the craziest game of the year.
Yeah, he's doing something. Oh, sorry, you're doing
No, you're
something.
good.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Russell Wilson was kind of crazy. I mean, he did show like a lot of good signs, and Scadaboo, obviously you have to look at that. He was really good. I think Scadaboo's pretty underrated, but I don't know why they stopped using Tyrone Tracy. I think he's a really solid running back. Neighbors had quite the day as well. I mean, everything about both teams was really good except the fact that the Giants' left tackle kept getting flagged for no reason. He's a idiot. I think they should have taken him out way earlier, or just taken him out in general. Like it's kind of like what the announcer said. It doesn't matter the drop off. You just have to take him out at that point, in my opinion. But for the Cowboys, I mean, Pickens definitely had some issues, but I mean, Lamb played great. Prescott, I mean, other than that pick, I thought Prescott was having quite a day. And then, I mean, let's be honest, the game ended when Wilson threw that pick. So it really wasn't the Cowboys winning, but like Wilson making a mistake at that point. Anyways, the next game that we're going to talk about, Seahawks versus Steelers. Not much to note other than the fact that the Seahawks pretty much smashed the Steelers and people overreacted to week 1 for the Steelers. Sam Darnold is good, but I mean, honestly, he wasn't playing like last year. 2 picks is not like him, even though I understand the Steelers defense and all that, but like, still, he should play a little bit better. All right. Next one's up is the Rams and Titans. Again, not much going on today other than I watched the replay of Cam Ward's first touchdown pass. That was amazing. But honestly, the people who were saying that the Titans were going to win the division were wrong. I thought they'd be a little bit better than this, but I was hoping they'd beat the Rams because the Rams are kind of one of those teams you just don't like too much because they're just old and like weird and you don't want them to win. But Puka's also not playing as good as you would think. Yeah, he put up 91 yards, but you wanted to put up what Adams put up, Devontae Adams. So yeah.
I mean, I predicted that the Rams were gonna do good. So
Yeah, but I mean, we'll get to a later point where I actually got the prediction right instead of him because we're 1-1 at the moment in terms of predicting team success through 2 weeks. All right. Yeah, not much to say here other than the fact that the Jets just got exposed. Like the Bills, even without Allen for some of the game, killed them, and I don't think there's much else to say.
holy
Other than the
moly!
fact that I'm disappointed that the Jets defense wasn't better because the Jets have one of the best defenses, organically built defenses too. Them and the Broncos are like the two teams with organically built defenses, and they still get smoked. It's kind of crazy that they still can't figure out a fix for Josh Allen at a point where he has no receivers.
Justin Fields didn't look horrible. I just think he had so much pressure on him. Like the stats, I mean, 3 for 11, you don't ever want to see that from a quarterback, but like his rushing stats kind of make up for it. Breece Hall, they need to run him a lot more. 10 rushes is not enough.
Another thing about Fields is this is not a good Bills defense, despite what people usually think about the Bills. Like usually they have a good defense, but this Bills defense is bad, bro. And like you can't be putting up those numbers against the Bills defense.
Alright. This one was actually interesting. I think Drake May played amazing. Like out of his mind. He might actually be, in my opinion, he might be the most successful rookie this year out of all the quarterbacks, except for maybe, I mean, Bo Nix is playing all right. You have Jaden Daniels, but he went down with an injury. I think he might be the most successful, and behind him maybe Michael Penix. I mean, can't really say anything there, but I mean, you gotta kind of fix the wide receivers. If Ramondre Stevenson is your number one wide receiver, dude, I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's kind of bad. Also, Travion Henderson didn't get used as much as I thought he would. I mean, they have two really good running backs, so I thought you use them like 1-2 punch, but it didn't seem like that.
Yeah, so you can see from the player stats, you got the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, I think he kind of made his get back, but like at the same time, this is the Patriots defense. You can't really.
Okay, like this is one of those things. The Dolphins are not a good team because they almost beat the Patriots. No, like Tua's not a good quarterback because he put up 300 yards. We've seen it before. I never believed in Tua. He sucks, and he's going to get exposed this year, and he's lost the first 2 games of the season. I don't think this will change, even with Tyreek Hill playing out of his mind.
Honestly,
if you can't win with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle playing good, then I don't understand like what else he needs. He has Devon Achane, which is a fast runner. Like, I think that this was a good game for the Patriots to prove that they're not bad anymore. And this is a game that showed that the Dolphins are not a playoff team anymore.
I think in the next couple of years, if they can draft a good quarterback or draft a good offensive lineman, I think this team could be really good. The only reason I say that is because Devon Achane reminds me of Bijan Robinson so much because he's never gonna really run for like that many yards. I mean, Bijan Robinson of course can run for 100 yards, but like Devon Achane, he's more like an Alvin Kamara type of player as well. I mean, he's gonna always get the ball out like flats and stuff like that and screens. I think what you do is you give Ollie Gordon more of the ball because he's more of like a Tyler Algier type of player, like what the Falcons run, and he's gonna score those touchdowns on the ground. I think their biggest problem right now is the running game, though. It's definitely not the best.
Yeah, but another problem I have with this team in general is just Tua. He can't move. If he does move, he gets injured, and he just can't even win with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Like, it's kind of crazy. This game was disappointing for me. Like, the Jaguars should have won this game the second Burrow went down. This is embarrassing, and honestly, I think that this game proved that they might not be able to win the division at all.
Yeah.
Like, without Hunter, with Hunter, doesn't matter. I don't think so. Because if you can lose to Jake Browning and the Bengals, honestly, in my opinion, that's disgusting, and you don't deserve to make the playoffs. I'm stick by that.
Yeah, honestly, Travis Etienne. I don't know why they traded Tank Bigsby. I mean, they get a couple of picks from it, but to be honest, I don't know why they picked Bashal Tutin in the first place. Like, he's a good player, but he's exactly like Travis Etienne. I mean, I guess if you want to run like a fast offense, Travis Hunter didn't look horrible, but they definitely need a wide receiver one besides Brian Thomas on the other side. Like, I feel like well, let me see. Did he play any defense? Yeah, Travis Hunter played a little bit of defense. He had 2 tackles.
I think they should switch it. They should make him a full-time corner situational wideout.
Yeah, right now I think he's playing too much wide receiver.
Yeah, I understand that Cohen is kind of like an offensive-minded coach, so he'll always lean offense with these talents, but I think it'll be better for the Jaguars if he switches it up.
Yeah, they already have good wide receivers. Alright, this one's kind of interesting. Mac Jones played his mind out against the Saints. Keep in mind, it is the Saints.
It is the Saints.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think this is the most overhyped team right now. They're 2-0. They shouldn't be 2-0. They should be like 1-1 maybe. If it wasn't for Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, they 0-2 possibly.
They should be 0-2. Because the Seahawks should have won that game.
Absolutely. Yeah. I forgot they play the Seahawks. Like, this team is overrated. They're going to lose against the Falcons. They're going to lose the next game, whoever they play next. I think they're going to become horrible. They're going to have a worse season than last season.
Okay, I don't think it's going to be that bad just because of the fact that the Niners are the Niners. They're probably going to finish somewhere 9-8, maybe make it kind of like what the Steelers did last year. Maybe sneak into the playoffs, get destroyed first round.
I think they're going to go like 7-10.
Let me think about it this way. The Seahawks, we don't know anything about them yet. The Rams, we only see that they're good, but they haven't really played a real team. Okay? Third, the Cardinals are the best team in that division by a long shot, and the Niners are second place. So I think that the Niners will finish 8-9 wins. I think the Rams are going to play badly because I think that teams can figure out what they can do. Stafford's getting old. There's issues to that. The Seahawks, we don't know yet. They could end up being the second best team, but I don't think they'll pass the Cardinals because I think that Murray to Marvin Harrison connection is going to be really good. I think him with his tight end's good, and Murray himself just makes any running back good. So I think that offense is going to be hard to stop in general. And Zach Gallen's a defensive coach, so that fixes pretty much everything. That's the Commanders' blueprint with a more run-heavy quarterback in a system that favors it. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, so going on with the Saints, they proved that they can play. I mean, it's not really like a good game for them. Their defense proved to be one of the worst defensives in the league.
Well, I mean, we kind of knew that, to be honest.
Spencer Rattler, if he can put up these numbers every week, I think the Saints will be happy.
I don't think he's the QB of the future, though. I think this is kind of just like their bridge QB. He's good enough to keep them in things, but I think they're going to have to look at some Arch Manning type of players. And I say Arch Manning because I still think people are overreacting to his first game. I think Arch Manning is generational.
Browns and Ravens. This one, okay.
Not much to say. The Ravens pretty much
Dylan Gabriel scored a garbage time touchdown. I don't think anybody should take anything from that. They need to absolutely throw the ball to Jerry Jeudy more. I don't know why they're not doing it more. He had like
Jerry Jeudy. He's interesting. I mean, people say he's good, but I think he's one of those receivers where it's like, because you throw him the ball so often, he's getting his stats inflated. It's kind of like the NFL's version of Terry Rozier. And if you did trade him to a team that like actually has receivers, you would see that Jeudy isn't as good, and that's why the Broncos got rid of him. But maybe he is good. I don't know.
I disagree. I think he's a top 10 wide receiver in the league when he's actually getting the ball.
That's too far, bro.
No. Okay, bro. Imagine you put him on the Buccaneers.
Okay, if you put him on the Buccaneers, I don't think he works because they have 4 receivers.
All right, well, that's a bad example.
Godwin, McMillan, Ibuka.
All
better than him.
I think that this is going to be his last year in Cleveland because he only had 2 catches by the time halftime started, and that's just not enough. Like, they need to be feeding him the ball every single quarter. I mean, you've Quinshon Judkins, he's doing really well, but at the same time, you have a quarterback that can check down to Jerry Jeudy And he's still their leading wide receiver with 4 catches. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, there's not much to say about the Ravens either.
Yeah, they just dominated.
Yeah, Lamar's doing crazy. Derrick Henry, I think this is like, it's not something to be worried about if you like are worried about Derrick Henry. He's gonna come back next week, doing just fine.
I'm not gonna lie, they didn't really need to use him. It's not something they should be worried about.
Yeah.
This is kind of a rest week for him.
Yeah. Where were we? Okay, so yeah, Bears, Lions.
I'm gonna lie. First of all, in my opinion, this is really bad for the Bears. I think they do need to hit the panic button because coming into this, they had some hype that they would beat the Lions, and they didn't come close. Second of all, I think if the Lions, I don't know where they stand right now because after I was someone who didn't think that Ben Johnson leaving was going to make much of a difference. Seeing the Packers, that looked bad because I thought the Lions were better than the Packers. I still think they are more talented, but I don't know where they stand. Like, they did beat up the Bears, but now I don't know if the Bears are really a good team after losing to the Vikings in a weird position, and the Vikings showed against the Falcons they weren't what people perceived them to be. The Lions beat them up, but then they lost to the Packers, who look like Super Bowl contenders. So they're kind of in this weird area now. And I think that this is going to be bad for the Lions eventually because usually they would just dominate teams, and that's why they won the 1 seed and all that stuff. But I don't think they can really do that anymore. I think this was just a big victory over a young, inexperienced team with a new head coach. But that's kind of weird for both teams.
I think personally, Roma Dunze popped off. I mean,
yeah,
that's a lot of yards. Like 128, 2 touchdowns. It's kind of crazy. Jared Goff, I mean, he seems to be getting back after, I think week 1 was a fluke. I think if they replayed the Packers, they could actually put up decent numbers against them, but they wouldn't win, like right now especially. I just think that they could compete enough.
I'm going to stick by what I said. I think Jared Goff has a ceiling because he can't run. This Lions team would be literally like impossible to stop with any sort of mobile quarterback. Any sort of like Drake May anywhere to Jaden Daniels. But I think Goff puts a ceiling on them. I think they can't win the Super Bowl because of the fact that he could have one of those breakdown games against the Commanders last year. He might just be able to just have to stay in the pocket like Kirk Cousins. I don't think you can win like that anymore.
Yeah, I think definitely that you need a mobile quarterback to win in this league. You saw with Michael Penix, he was definitely more mobile last week than ever. But let's see. I honestly picked the Colts to win this, and not for the reason that like probably you picked them or picked like anybody picked them. I picked them because of the week that they had, week 1. I think if you put up those numbers, you're bound to win the next game. I mean, no matter what. It was a close game, don't get me wrong. Very close. But I don't know. Like, either team could be 2-0 right now. These are both really good teams.
I'm going to say this. I told you, first of all, that the Colts were going to be really good, so this is where my prediction was, that the Colts were going to pop off this year. And I was right, because I don't think this will fade. I think they are a really good team that Daniel Jones has proved himself. But I do also think that the Colts didn't exactly win this game. The Broncos lost it, because if you realize, Nick threw an interception at the end that led to the game-winning field goal. And I don't think the Broncos should be concerned at all. They have no flaws. They're a great team. Number 1 defense, top 5 O-line. You have a top 15 receiver in Courtland Sutton. You have a good mobile quarterback, so you can do pretty much anything with Bo Nix. Now they fixed their run game, and they have, again, top 5, like, number 1 defense. So I don't think they should be worried at all. You'll be better than the Chiefs, and you're better than the Raiders, and you're way better than the Chargers. Just let things play out. I think this might be like one of their only losses of the season because this was kind of a fluky game. I'm not trying to discredit the Colts win. It's a great win. Daniel Jones played great, but I do think, like you said, either team could be 2-0 right now. And it's kind of sad they had to play each other because I wanted both teams to win this week because the Colts, I think, will win their division. Broncos will win theirs. If they meet up in the playoffs, that would be an insane matchup that I would watch for sure.
Yeah. So, as you can see, the Panthers and Cardinals, I think Bryce Young, this was like a weird game for him. I think this kind of like I don't know. This kind of put the Panthers in a bad spot. They're 0-2. They play the Falcons next week. They're gonna be 0-3. I mean,
Bro's already counting on.
dude. Okay, but think about it. Bryce Young played good enough to where they're not concerned about him. But like, they kind of have to be after that Week 1 performance. I don't know how they're not worried about him. He threw like 2 interceptions. This game, he put up an interception and a fumble. Like, you can't do that in the NFL. Like, they're gonna have to draft a quarterback at some point, and I think their running game was awful. Like, I don't know how you can't run it against the Cardinals. I mean, their defensive line is not bad, but like, it's like they're not a top 10 defensive line. They're probably top 15.
That's about average, yeah. My thing on the Panthers that I want to say is, I don't think you go as far to say right now that you draft another quarterback, but if you see McMillan, his connection's starting to build up with him, and I think that's good news for the Panthers. I think that they will lose next week, but not because he's bad. It's because the Falcons finally have a pass rush, and Bryce Young is very small, relies on getting outside the pocket. Jalon Walker and James Pierce are going to be waiting for him.
I mean, if you look at this though, Bryce Young hates pressure. If you can pressure him at least like 3 times in a drive, he's gonna throw in either an interception or it's gonna be like a 3rd or 4th down. Like, it's gonna be a punt or a field goal. I think the only way that the Panthers have a shot against the Falcons is if AJ Terrell's not playing, because McMillan is his only chance, to be honest. I still think McMillan's kind of raw right now. The only chance that I see that they win is through the running game, which is not going to happen. I don't think the Falcons would allow that right now. With the way the Cardinals did play well. It's not to discredit them.
I like the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Panthers' defense is actually not bad, but they do need to run the ball a little bit better next week.
Yeah, but I think that's not big of an issue because Murray is going to give you that dynamic offense, right? I think that whether you run it or not, they could have... This game was kind of their freebie. Like, you could do whatever you want and you know you're going to win, right? They kind of got scary at the end because Young had a game-winning opportunity and he messed it up. But honestly, I think this is nothing to be concerned about for the Cardinals. I think they'll win this division, and I like their future going forward because Murray's kind of proven himself.
You have the Eagles and Chiefs. I think it's a overstatement that the Chiefs suck. But I do think that the Chiefs will go like 10-7 this year. They're not going to be the best team.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that. I think they're going to have a losing record. But what I want to take from this is how are the Eagles losing to beating 2 below average teams by only like 3 points? The Cowboys and then the Chiefs. This has to show some regression on their part too. You still have Saquon Barkley. You have an offense, tush put. They're not winning the Super Bowl this year. The Packers have proven better than them in every aspect. The Falcons have. The Lions just did. Like, this team, the Eagles, is below average. Once they play a real team, we're going to see them either get smoked or lose, like, some way. But they're not beating a good team.
Patrick Mahomes, like, they're putting too much pressure on him. They need to figure out the running game. The last 2 games, they haven't had a really successful running game at all. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco in the last 2 games has had like, I don't know, 6 fantasy points, which is not good. Kareem Hunt, same thing. They need to figure something out. Sign like a rookie that came out of undrafted. I think that could work, but I don't know. Their offensive line.
I don't even think it's the run game. I just think if they want to pass, they just gotta like fully go into passing. You gotta get your Hollywood Brown to run like a deep route and just let Patrick Mahomes throw that thing. I mean, to be honest, they're never gonna run the ball good. They don't have a running back like that. You just have to throw that ball as far as you can. Mahomes got the 99-yard arm, so just use it.
I know, but he's almost getting out of his prime. They need to lock in. All right, Falcons, probably the best defensive performance I've seen this year so far. You have 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, 4 total turnovers, which led to the game-winning, ending, I guess.
My only critique about them is, why is Jalon Walker and Jalen Pierce still not playing more than half the snaps?
I know.
I think they need to be more involved. If they did that in week 1, they would have beaten Baker Mayfield. I think the only reason Mayfield won is because their problem from last year basically occurred back to them. They couldn't even get to him. If Mayfield ran outside the pocket, it's because he wanted to, not because they pressured him.
I don't think. Okay, so my hot take for this week is that Arnold Ebiketie is worse than most players on the Falcons, and that they need to trade him.
I don't think they need to trade him, to be honest. He's solid for what they need.
Yeah, but like, I watched the game. He didn't get many pressures at all.
Yeah, but to be honest, Ebiketie is one of those players who's under the radar. You'll never notice him until like they'll put a stat of like how much he's really doing. He's one of those people, like, you know how Onyemeta's getting, let's say, here's an example. Onyemeta's getting 3 sacks, but Ebiketie's the one they're focused on. He's the one who's pushing him, the quarterback, left to give Onyemeta the sack. It's the things you don't see. And I think Ebiketie in general will start getting stats later because they'll start focusing on Jalon Walker, James Pierce, Caden Ellis, who's starting to rush more. They've got this new guy, Diablo, who is becoming like a really versatile linebacker. I think now that other people are starting to step up, you're going to see Ebiketie start getting some stats.
Yeah, player or unexpected players of the week. I have Brandon Dorless and Zach Harrison. I think they played amazing. They were awesome.
Yeah, Xavier Watts and Bowman. Where is Bowman? He was insane. Watts could have had 3 picks the last game. He had a pick today, right? Mm-hmm. And then Bowman got a pick today. They've been playing insane on the secondary.
Yeah, I think the Falcons rookie class for the last 2 years has been insane.
Yeah.
The Vikings, I don't even think they played horrible. I just think they were underestimating the Falcons' defense. They tried to run the ball up the middle too many times. I think they realized that at halftime, and they tried to pass it. It just didn't work. The only one pass that they had was 50 yards to Justin Jefferson, and if it wasn't for that, they'd only have 3 points. So,
I'm not gonna lie, McCarthy should have what he didn't do today. That day was, you know how Sam Darnold's success was mostly just Justin Jefferson's down there somewhere and he just threw that. He should have done like 10 of those this game. Yeah. Maybe they would have gotten close.
I think that they need to pass the ball deeper because Justin Jefferson is a deep threat, and I don't think McCarthy's the right quarterback for that. I really don't. I think you're going to see a quarterback in the next 2 weeks since he's injured. They're going to see that happen, and they're going to finally win a game. I don't think they're that bad, but they're not going to be as good as they were last year for sure.
I think they're going to regret not keeping Daniel Jones on the roster.
Yep. I thought the Buccaneers were going to lose this one. The only reason I say that is because I thought the defense was just going to be too good, but apparently the Texans defense, it isn't that good. I mean, they have 2 sacks the whole game. They didn't force a single turnover, I don't think. The Bucs are playing perfect.
I'm not gonna lie, the Texans are kind of disappointing. Like last year, you could kind of say that, like, what happened to the Texans. This year, you're really thinking, what the hell happened to the Texans? Because this was a very winnable game too, and Stroud's not exactly impressing to the point where you would think that, oh, it's not his fault. It's just like he's not doing much, to be honest. If you look at the Buccaneers, if you like click on that real fast.
Oh yeah.
Baker Mayfield is doing the things to help his team win. He's running the ball, and even the things you don't see in general, like where he's outside the pocket doing stuff, Stroud won't do most of those things. And Baker Mayfield is in general just kind of like pushes his team. Stroud is kind of letting his team dictate how far he's going to go. With how he's just like trusting them with the throw, while Mayfield moving around, directing them on where to throw. And it's just a difference. This is why Mayfield is going to be an MVP candidate again this year, and why Stroud needs to figure out his passing issues, because the Texans don't look like they can win this division. The Colts are playing great. The Jaguars, even though I told you like they're probably not going to win it, they could still make a playoff spot because a lot of teams in the AFC have either regressed or gotten injured. And the Texans just don't look up. I think the Titans have a better shot at the division than the Texans at this point. Titans at least showed some sign of life.
Yeah, I think with the injury to Joe Mixon, I probably should have changed my pick. Sadly, I was 15-1 last week. I picked all the right teams except for this game. I'm pissed about that because like I could have had a 16-0 week, but you know it's fun.
Obviously, it's the one time he forgot to call me. I would have told him Buccaneers, just so you know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last game for the week. I think the Chargers are a really decent team. I think they figured out the pass game with Justin Herbert finally. He hasn't thrown.
Quentin Johnson played solid. That's actually surprising.
Yeah, Quentin Johnson has proven himself to be a decent wide receiver.
Yeah. Funky played a little worse than you would have thought, but it's okay for a game.
Dude,
but my thing was, Geno Smith was awful. Oh, 3 picks, no
Bro,
touchdown.
dude, you know what the stat was? He was 0-10 and had 3 interceptions. Dude, they need to get him off the team. Oh
Not
my
off the team, just an
gosh.
overreaction. The Chargers have like a damn good defense. But 3 picks,
Yeah,
no touchdown.
I mean, they do need to be worried about that though, because like you can't be throwing 3 interceptions in a game. I mean,
But you know what you also can't be doing? You can't be giving Genty anything less than 30.
yeah, I know, bro. He's only getting 15 or 11. Dude,
Disgusting.
they're giving like they need to be giving him at least like 20.
Like, you can't even justify it with Brock Bowers. Like, you run it, and then you give it to Brock Bowers. You run it or give it to Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
literally only 2 options they got.
Dude, you know what you could do?
Either.
You know what you could do? Play action. After, like, once you start running it 20 times a game, people are going to be like, oh, yo, they're running it. You play action, Brock Bowers is wide open in the end zone.
Exactly. I mean, it just doesn't make sense what they're doing. It doesn't look like they understand what they're doing.
We're going to do quick, no explaining, but just quick predictions. I'll go first, like, for all of them. So, for the Bills, Dolphins, I got the Bills. For this one, fuck.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Oh, I think I still got the Bengals, barely. This one, I got the Jaguars. I got the Colts in this one. The Raiders.
Mariota's probably gonna play that game.
Still, I think barely the Raiders. I think the Eagles, the Falcons, Steelers, Packers, Buccaneers, Broncos.
Oh, that's a good game.
Broncos. Seahawks, Bears, Cardinals, Chiefs, and I think
That's
the Ravens pull it out barely.
All right, now let me just do it. Bills, Vikings, Jaguars, Colts, Commanders. Unfortunately, the Eagles, Falcons, Patriots, Packers, Buccaneers, Broncos, like you said, Seahawks, Cowboys, Cardinals, and I got the Giants. I think the Chiefs look really bad. Giants look really good. And that last one's tough. It's kind of like it could go either way, but I think the Lions will do this. I think they have more to lose than the Ravens do, to be honest.
Yeah. So I'll go over the games that we disagree on. So I think the Bengals are barely gonna push this one out because of Jamar Chase and Jake Browning. I think Jake Browning he's kind of like that what's the level called that you were talking about, like who has like he's kind of like Jared Goff in a way, or Kirk Cousins in a way.
Yeah.
Like he has kind of like a ceiling.
My reasoning for the Vikings is I think that Kevin O'Connell is the reason they're going to win this game because, first of all, their defense 1,000,000 times better than the Bengals, which is my first reason. Second reason, Justin Jefferson's a better wide receiver. And third reason, Kevin O'Connell will find a way to get Justin Jefferson the ball this game because no J.J. McCarthy. And they have the running game, which Kevin O'Connell will find a way to make work. Zach Taylor will do none of those things, and the Bengals in general have a trash defense, so a toddler could get Justin Jefferson the ball.
You know what? Actually, I'll change my vote on this.
Just make sure you all know that my reasoning was so good. Mark Rowe, football expert, changed his pick.
Yeah. So you said the Jaguars. You said the Colts. I think the Raiders are gonna win this one because Pete Carroll is gonna he's gonna be trying to figure out, we gotta fix this quick. We gotta fix the Geno Smith, and they're gonna run the ball a lot, and the Commanders can't really handle that. So that's why I said And plus, Jane Daniels is gonna be out. Austin Eckler's gonna be out. I think this is gonna be an ugly game. I think the Vikings or the Raiders will barely pull it out though.
So here's my thing. If you think that Dan Quinn, a defensive mastermind, won't find some way to slow down Ashton Jeanty and Brock Bowers, I think you're wrong. Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt is going to prove to be really good in this game, and I think people will start taking him seriously as their running back of the future. And Marcus Mariota, we saw in the 2 games he played last year that Cliff Kingsbury can still run this offense to 30 points without him. I don't think the Raiders have that.
Maybe. I don't change my pick though. The Patriots. I chose the Steelers. You chose the Patriots. I think the Steelers were barely pulled this one off. I mean, this is a rivalry game, so like they have DK Metcalf. They have isn't it Pat Freiermuth? They have Jalen Warren, or not Jalen Warren, maybe Jalen Warren. I forgot the running back name, but he's really solid. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is gonna pull through in this one. He's gonna barely outscore the Patriots.
Yeah, my thing is Aaron Rodgers is the reason I don't have the Steelers winning. And also the fact that Drake May is a better quarterback. I've always thought this in general, right now, not all time, obviously. Ramondre Stevenson's a better running back than anyone on that Steelers roster. The Patriots defense is not bad. They'll get some sort of picks. Christian Gonzalez is going to be proved to be really annoying to DK Metcalf, I think. And I think that Jalen Ramsey's washed, and I don't think he'll do much to harm Drake May. I think that the Patriots will get this one pretty easily. I don't think it's going to be that close.
I think it's going to be pretty close. All right. So, yeah, we picked that team. All right, did you pick the Cowboys or the Bears?
I picked the Cowboys.
Well, I picked the Bears. I think Ben Johnson's going to be like, shit, we need to win a game, at least one. They're going to push through this one very like ugly. They're gonna pass with Caleb Williams a lot, throw it to Rome Odunze. I think they have more offensive weapons than the Cowboys, and I think the last game was very ugly against the Giants. I don't know. I just think the Bears will barely outshine them through this.
Yeah, I would pick the Bears. I think this could go either way, but my thing is the Bears have such a great defense, and yet they can't stop anyone. That's my thing. I think this game will be just like the Giants one. I think the Cowboys are just going to win a shootout. The Cowboys defense is not great. I'm not going to say it is. But CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are 2 really unguardable wide receivers. Pair that with a running game that actually showed some life against the Giants, with Javonte Williams going on that crazy run. Prescott looked comfortable. He looked like him old self. I think that Prescott's experience will win him, especially since Williams doesn't look like he's really found any direction, even with Johnson. And the Bears defense hasn't performed up to the standard of like it's a top 5 defense, even though it should be a top 5 defense. It's had all the signs. Caleb's rookie year, his defense saved him from going like 0-7, which is why I'm kind of surprised at that.
But the reason I say the Chiefs is because they're 0-2. They're gonna have a pushback game, or eventually they're gonna win. I think it'll be this game because the Giants defense last week was weak. Even if Russell Wilson puts up those stats again, I don't think that they can outscore the Chiefs in this one. I think the Chiefs will have an outstanding game. They'll probably win like, I don't know, 27-20. The only reason I don't say it's closer is because I do think Patrick Mahomes, he's kind of like rusty. I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know. This will be a make or break game for the Chiefs. If they don't win this one, they could go like undefeated, like they could go defeated and lose like a lot of games this season. But if they win this one, then they could have a comeback.
I don't think they win this one because I don't see any way they win this one, first of all, because Giants looked really good. Their defense, I understand they gave up 37 points, but let's look at the Chiefs passing attack against the Eagles and tell me that was impressive. It was not. They lost Worthy, right? So I don't know if he's going to play. He might. Rashee Rice, obviously idiot, so we don't know when he's come back or whatever suspension. The Chiefs offense in general, they're not going to run the ball well, and the Giants have like a top 5 front 7 anyways with Brian Burns and everyone, and they showed it against the Cowboys despite the fact they gave up 40 points. But they'll get to Mahomes. They're going to stop that run no matter how many times they try it. The Chiefs won't even get like a QB sneak on the Giants. Like, they'll have to throw the ball every single play, and then that just causes like Mahomes to get pressured. They'll blitz him, And Wilson looked great. Neighbors look great. No one on that Chiefs defense is going to be able to stop Malik Neighbors. They have 2 running backs, I think. Tyron Tracy, who's really good, and then Cam Scatterby looked pretty good. I think that Russell Wilson looked like his old self. I think he's going to win them their first game. This is probably the easiest game on the Giants' schedule, to be honest.
I think I'm not gonna change my vote. I think the Ravens are gonna win against the Lions. I think this one's gonna be close. I think these are the 2 Super Bowl teams, and they're just playing early. I mean,
Okay, I don't think that, bro.
two Super Bowl contenders are playing early. That's what I think it is.
It'll be a great game.
Yeah, the Lions have Amon-Ra, they have Gibbs, they have David Montgomery. The Ravens have Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry, if he does good, they're gonna win this one. But if he just doesn't do good like the last game, then maybe not. But I think the Ravens still pull this one off at home.
The Lions have very few weaknesses. I think they only have one, and that's Jared Goff's legs. Not even just Jared Goff, just his legs. If they just had Jared Goff move like a teeny bit more faster, they're the greatest team of all time. Not gonna lie about it. This team is from top to bottom, has no weakness. Even the kicker and punter has not a weakness. The Ravens have weaknesses. First of all, they're just loading up on old, washed players. Jair Alexander and DeAndre Hopkins are their best improvement. You expect me to believe they're any different from last year? This team is good, not going to lie, but I don't think they're Lions level. Lions are young, energetic, really hard-hitting, great coach. Ravens have a great coach too, but Dan Campbell is different. You know that too. I think that the Lions have more to lose because in general, their mindset's kind of like just win or die. You know what I'm saying? So Ravens don't got that mindset. Lamar Jackson is a regular season player, but Jared Goff's also a regular season player. So it's really just pick your poison and it's flip coin. I think the Lions win that because Lions are going into Baltimore with like that mindset of we have to get above 500. We have to get above 500.
I just agree. But honestly, I think that's it for this episode. Do you have anything else or not?
No, other than the fact that I think the Bengals are cooked because Burrow's not going to be back for a while.
Yeah. Sucks for the Bengals. Alright, I think that's it.